Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. This is Doug Sashery, and as always, joined to the right.
Rob Mendiola.
Hello, Rob, and
Guess what we're doing?
we're doing a podcast. You know, it's so good that we wanted to run a complete practice episode on it.
We did.
Yeah, we did a rehearsal. We're in a
We did.
rehearsal studio, so
It was our first time doing rehearsal.
yeah, that was a rehearsal podcast. So we ran it cold through.
Without hitting record.
Yeah, red button. And let me tell you, people, there's some people that are just freaking just, like I said, the word anal, or just fidgety. They have to have stuff done. Control freak. There's a certain way. Like when I chose to do this podcast, Rob had just come out of COVID, so I knew he couldn't run far.
Not far.
And get away. And he would be a stickler on this job. Well, that's if I was doing it, I can tell you right now, we'd be 8 episodes. Maybe it would have taken me to do what he just did, but he forgot to hit record. So we just did a whole entire episode. And
With two guests, one way out from Ohio.
Yeah.
Let's introduce them, man. Let's go ahead and just
He's already
introduce
missed his flight, so yeah, it's yeah.
He's going to have to walk home.
From the band MSKN, a.k.a. Missing Skin, today we have Titus and Berkey.
What's up, guys?
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Again.
Welcome.
That was great.
And
That's one for the books for sure, man.
Yeah, that'll come up on.
I'll never live that one down.
No.
I wouldn't expect you to anyway.
Yeah, because usually I get the grief about the popping, mic pops, and
Popping the can,
opening the mint can or whatever, and
yeah, this water bottle crinkling. Yeah,
it's always something.
It's always good stuff.
I love you, Doug.
Yeah, Doug's awesome.
Yeah,
Man. Anyhow, today we talked with Missing Skin before, and it was Berkey and Dwayne. He does exist, and. Couldn't join us today because, we got hit by a snowstorm in Texas, and we don't deal with that well. So a lot of places here and all along the coast, they had like a couple of days of no work.
Yeah.
So he had to go in and fill in today or play catch up, more likely. And we appreciate him for
He's out
being
making some money.
We need him on that wall, but he's. But they came, Berkey came in and talked about what they were doing, and we had Dwayne on the phone, and the project has come along, and now we actually have vocals.
Yep, vocals starting to happen.
And hey, welcome, Titus.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, man.
Finally.
Yeah. And we're doing it for real this time. We're recording.
Yeah, so
Good. It's like Groundhog Day.
so you're still thankful to be here.
Absolutely.
What about the third time? Yeah, we say we've had Berkey on the show twice before.
Yeah.
This is his third time.
My third time.
Yeah, you got 2 and 3 at the same time.
Dwayne has officially missed 3 shows.
Yeah, especially.
Yeah, way to go, Dwayne.
He was on the audio, the first one he was on the phone,
Yep,
right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
He called in.
We don't know that he wasn't pre-recorded. I'm just saying.
That was AI, Dwayne.
Press the foot pedal.
So Titus, you're taking a little break from the cold. You said you live on
little
Erie.
bit. Yeah. I literally right. There's just my parking and then a cliff in Lake Erie. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the air up there hurts right now when you go outside.
Jeez.
But you've got a cliff. You don't live in a place where the ice pushes up and onto.
Oh no, there's plenty of ice too.
But you know what I'm talking about, like the ones where it's.
Where it looks like it's a wave of ice.
Oh, yeah.
it's
No,
pushed-
it's not quite that bad. That it's got enough height to it.
Yeah.
So we do get a lot of ice and freezing, and the wind is just awful.
Yeah.
But it's not like coated. That's a little down the shoreway. It is.
Yeah.
I'm lucky. The cliffs. Are
I can't even
high.
imagine how cold that feels. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, brutal.
I don't recommend it.
So you're like probably feeling like this is tropical weather.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
we
you're
were having
in
lunch
shorts.
yesterday.
You're both out in shorts.
Yep.
That's awesome.
This poor guy was shivering, having lunch. He said, "You're not cold."
Well, it's coming from Cleveland, Ohio, moving down here over the last 24 years, I can't anything under 50 degrees. I'm like, dude, I am freezing.
Yeah.
Blowing into my hands, jumping around like Richard Simmons, you know,
Yeah.
what I mean, running around is crazy.
Hey boy. Yeah. I'm sorry, I got a text from home just now that I shouldn't have looked at, but it's one of those that my sprinkler system is
Oh,
The
wow.
bonnet pop.
Yeah.
no.
There. Oh yeah, this
They're going to shut it
the
off?
sprinkler bonnet that happened to me a couple times
yeah, I have a
because water swells in that.
Well, we
little
just had all that freezing, so
I
it
usually-
probably weakened some of those.
I usually turn it off, but my thing was off, so I didn't think I had to worry about it because of that. But apparently that was wrong. Way to go, Doug. So you're saying you have some experience of that?
I do. So I guess $175 worth every time those things pop and have to have a plumber to come out
Oh,
there.
damn.
But just shut the water
Yeah.
main off on your sprinkler, and
Right.
it's one twist of a button and it stops.
Yeah.
But
90% of the time, your sprinkler system is going to branch out before the home. So
yeah.
Yeah.
you just shut that off.
Yeah. In
I
fact,
actually work in plumbing, so
Oh, okay.
well, you know, it's just funny is I had that. I bought the. Well, we talking about sprinkler systems
I
now,
know.
but
I was like, we went way off.
yeah,
Doug.
we went off course, but I bought a system to where I can't remember the damn name of it. I put it in my garage and it hasn't synced in a while, so I kind of just shut it down. I was doing it myself, and yeah, this is the payback I get. So you saying I need a plumber?
I
Yeah.
would. Yeah.
I would definitely get a plumber.
Every time that happened to me, I always.
Well, we know Stan West Jr. is a very good plumber.
Yeah, I don't even know if Stan's available today.
Well, you might just give him a text.
Okay. Anyhow, my mind erased with a couple incidents today that'll erase your brain.
So round 2, here we go again.
Yes.
Titus, how did you get into singing, man? Like, how did this happen for you?
right. So early on, I was
Yeah.
very young. Tried a different few approaches to music. Just tried playing guitar first, which is okay, and wanted to be a drummer, and that didn't work out
Yeah.
with the with the
Mom
parents.
said, "Hell no."
No, too much noise in the house. And then she had this epiphany that she wanted me to be an opera singer.
Yeah.
And I did show tunes and opera for a long time. Approached, fast forward a couple years later, being an adult, out doing some singing with some friends, and somebody said, "Hey, can you do some rock and can you do some screaming?" And never tried it before. And yeah, it worked out pretty good, and here we are today. Really,
You said your mom used to be a vocalist.
yeah, she was, and which was funny because she was a vocalist in a punk band also.
Awesome.
Yeah, and
That doesn't get any cooler.
Isn't that was the name of that band
the
again?
Mickey Rat Band.
And weren't they a pretty sizable band? Because I've heard that name before. Because I want to say when Rat was starting that band, they had to kind of worry because that name was already in existence.
They were pretty popular. I remember being a little kid watching them, having the Chili Peppers open up for them. And
Wow.
stuff down to Pirates Cove, the old Pirates
Yeah,
Cove.
so
in
that's
Cleveland.
pretty legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very legit.
So yeah, I've been around.
Did they
just-
ever tour or anything, or did you just
Yeah.
kind of stay?
Oh yeah. And
toured, yeah.
So I remember that being a part of my life.
Yeah.
Just all the time.
So you're a
being
side
at live
stage.
show. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
And you were telling us that you've got that. Tell us about your singing experience before you got into.
Right. Well, it was all show tunes. Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. A lot of Phantom of the Opera. A lot of Phantom of the Opera.
No, bless your beautiful heart. No, she's the one for me.
I remember the is.
Why do
You
I even
Is.
have a job right now with this guy? Can do?
Yeah, that's gonna carry.
I remember Tom and Jerry doing the "Is You Is."
Oh, Is You Ain't My Baby.
Oh,
That's
I love that when
My
it came
favorite
on.
episode ever.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's
Does that count as show tunes? I don't know.
That's bluegrass actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a bluegrass folk. But
Yeah,
that's
that goes way back, actually. Yeah,
I was always obsessed with that. I
Yeah.
mean, I always.
and he would play
I,
that stand-up bass. I
I
believe.
just
right?
watched that episode like
That-
2 weeks ago. I put it on. I
No
love
oh
way.
my God. Man.
I love that, man.
That's it. And you were saying that we were talking about that's kind of good for a vocalist because Rob Halford of Judas Priest, he's got an operatic background. I think it's good for a
I've never heard any of that. That's incredible.
I think
I've never heard that.
Yes, a lot of singers that have that kind of background, I think that their vocals it lends something to lasting. I think, and their range is usually pretty damn good because of it.
Right. And I mean, Rob, you know, and a lot of those guys that have those great operatic voices, a lot of them are soprano guys. You know, now I'm a tenor.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm a little bit lower.
Yeah, you can hear that from your vocals right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and those guys are amazing. I mean, Jeff Tate was always one of my favorites of all time.
I thought you were going to say the Oak Ridge Boys.
Yeah. Jeff Tate's from that area too, right? Is he from?
No, you know, he's not from up in Ohio. I can't even.
I
can't
thought he was a
remember where he's
northeastern
from.
type guy.
But most
maybe.
yeah. And I just remember.
Yeah, Jeff Tate was pretty.
Back when Queensryche
incredible.
was still trying to sound, you know, thrashy.
Yeah.
With the Queen of the Reich album
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff, and his voice was just unreal. You know.
That's Doug crackling his bottle, y'all.
Yeah, I'm getting called out because you've got to throw shade on me to put it from somewhere else.
Yeah, just hopefully that makes people forget I forget to hit record last time.
So now you're bringing the
Yeah, the gutturals,
It's
the
guttural?
growl.
Yeah.
Cool.
But there's no in between for the two voices for me. There's not like, oh, here's your opera voice and then your sort of rock voice and then your metal voice. No, it's you get one or the other when it comes to me. So
do you mix it in songs, or are you full on one way or the other?
oh no, I do my best to mix it in.
Okay,
Cool.
You know,
I've
'cause-
always appreciated that. You know, like we were talking about earlier that
You hear a lot of it now in a lot of recordings.
Rob Rice of 12 Years Driven. This guy's a dead ringer for you, by the way, looks wise, and he could do that on his voice, and I always appreciated. You know, he could bring his guttural, but he could also do his soft tone, you know, and bring it, you know, his singing, and I always appreciated that. It's a good range, and we talked about, you know, being able to keep that guttural voice. You know, when you get older, a lot of times, a lot of guys will just burn out. You know, it's hard to keep that, so you got to keep those vocals.
There's a difference between a musical scream and yelling, and you're gonna blow your voice out if you just spend all your time yelling.
Yeah,
Did you learn how to do that yourself?
Yeah, I had to learn, and it was a lot of time just screaming into a pillow, losing my voice.
yeah.
You know,
Figured it out, huh?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I would say I want to guess that a lot of guys, because they start, you know, a lot of these guys start in garage bands, and you know they start clubbing. I want to say that a lot of them start like that before they know, and because you see a lot of them going to voice coaches later on in their career, because if I want to continue doing this, you know.
Yeah, there a lot of greats. You hear that first album, and then you hear an album that might be a decade later, and they've really just honed the craft. You know, I mean, some of them, you know, back off and you know, just because of health or whatever, but really, vocals are as strong as you make them. It's like any other muscle in the body. You know, you just keep working it, and you know, it stays sharp for you.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you don't have to be a screamo to lose your voice as a singer. I mean, John Bon Jovi, who's sad the trouble he's having right now, you know, and I've always loved that band, you know, and they just play no good old rock and roll, and his voice is, you know.
Yeah, it's to the end almost, and he's pushing to try to keep it going. But
yeah, because they have a good documentary right now out on them, and it was sad seeing that because just something you've always appreciated. You know, it's such a talent. You know,
I mean, I have bad memories from Bon Jovi. 'Cause my sister was a big Bon Jovi fan. Every time I try to sing, you know, growing up, you don't sound like him. You quit.
oh no, okay,
He gave me the hardest time.
Yeah.
I didn't sound like Bon Jovi.
you know, I always,
yeah, totally different range though, right?
Oh,
yeah, it's just totally different. And, you know, they're another band that did really with him and Richie did a lot of good harmonizing, which I've always appreciated. That like Eagles, the Eagles, I've always appreciated because they.
So who were your favorites like when you were younger to listen to?
Oh wow!
Kind of try to mimic or whatever.
Yeah, well, we mentioned Jeff Tate.
Yeah.
You know, definitely. And there were a lot of guys that were out of my range, you know, like Rob Halford. So I had to find something a little different.
Yeah.
You know, being, you know, I'm 48.
Yeah.
So, you know, in the 70s, the late 70s, and in the 80s, it was all the soprano guys.
Right.
You had like Dennis DeYoung and Boston.
The Boston,
these
yeah.
great high voices.
Yeah.
And I
Man,
just
that
couldn't
guy
do
could
it.
hit it, dude.
Bad
Right.
Company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, the 90s came along, and then the lower voice got sort of in vogue for musicians. And that's when I sort of started feeling comfortable, with just trying something out of bounds. And, it's just sort of evolved from then. Even metal changed, in that early
Oh, yeah.
90s. When
Big time.
Pantera came out and Vulgar Display of Power just changed everything with how metal sounded and
Feel,
and how you
ensemble,
could
yeah.
approach it. And it was like, I could do this.
Yeah.
Like I could do that.
Yeah.
It kind of clicked.
I see he's already pandering to our Texas listeners. Mentioning
yeah.
Pantera, way to go. That's a thing. We learned.
Last year was the 20th, 24. I think it was the 20th anniversary since Dime's death.
God, that's so hard to
It's crazy to believe
Yeah.
it's been 20 years already.
Yeah, I was supposed to be at that show.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's right. That's y'all. That's your background. Not too far away down the road towards Columbus. Yeah.
Wow.
Didn't they tear that place down?
Yeah,
there?
it's gone.
Yeah,
It's gone.
Yeah.
The El Rosa Villa.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey man.
So now you're here in Texas and with Berkey laying down some tracks. How's that going, man?
Great. I've been really hyper about it.
Y'all doing that in Berkey's house?
Yeah.
Your home studio?
Yep, that's right.
How did you get the booth set up? You got a nice kind of thing going there?
Yeah, so we just ordered one of those like pop-up booths, right?
Yeah.
So this is
Like, how big is that? Like,
it's I want to say it's like 36 inches by 36 inches.
oh,
Or
wow,
like,
it's a tight space.
It's but
Yeah.
it's kind of doable. It's
Yeah.
and it like all pops up.
So you just
together
stand in there
everything.
and just
Yeah.
go for it.
Yep, exactly. Because I really didn't have the room. Holly made me move the studio from upstairs to down in the front room.
Oh, I was
So
gonna say, did you
yeah.
move moved
Yeah.
your stuff from upstairs?
I did, yeah. So she wanted it out of there, so I had to. We redid the whole thing, painted in there, and put all
Cool.
that.
She wouldn't allow you to use the shower as the
No,
singing booth.
Not yet.
no, not yet. Yeah. But yeah,
So that's
the booth's-
cool.
Yeah, Booth's working good and running all the software and everything, so it's good.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
What
good.
software do you run for your recording?
The DAW that I use
Yeah,
is
DAW.
Reaper. Yeah,
Reaper.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
what
even
I'm
heard of
using. And then we use all the Neural DSP plugins
Okay.
for everything. And right now we're trying out the Modern Metal Songwriters Gamma vocal plugin, and it seems to be working
Oh.
pretty good. So yeah,
Cool. That has all the gates and the compressions and
everything. you can-
reverb. Do I use reverb a lot in this style?
we do, yeah, and it's all of that is all packed into one program, so it's pretty good
Yeah.
so far. Yeah.
Do you like reverb on yours? Like a little wet? Or
Especially on the clean vocals.
Yeah.
It's pretty essential.
does reverb work with the guttural sound or not?
It does, but we the rate of we were talking about the just how long that reverb
Yeah.
lasts. You need more of a slap back sort of effect,
So not so much like a hall.
right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So like slight delay on it then?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
Cool.
Yep.
Very cool. And you're mixing all this at home.
Mixing it all at home.
Nice.
We're doing pretty good, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned before, I'm not an audio engineer, but the mix is pretty good. And we'll have quite a few buddies who are saying, hey, man, this is really close for mastering. So
Yeah, because it sounds incredible already, man.
thank you.
I mean, you share quite a bit of it with me, and I love listening to it.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's a lot of work goes into that stuff.
Yeah.
Don't let them be that humble. I mean, I've been around other people recording, and this is Mr. Wizard here.
No,
He's great.
it's
He's
really good because I hear a lot of stuff. People send me a lot of stuff, which I'm thankful for. But sometimes I hear it and it makes me sad because I'm like, why are they letting it sound like that? Because I know it doesn't have to sound like that.
That's
right.
right.
Where the mix is just all mushy and it's all muted and you're like, you're just you're cheating yourself out of quality because I know you're a quality musician, but you have to put that on the tapes.
I agree.
You want it to reflect what you're actually capable of.
Yeah, agree wholeheartedly. I know a ton of really good bands who are awesome musicians.
Yeah.
And then you hear some of the shittiest demos, and I'm
Yeah.
like, why? It's.
But how do you
just-
tell them that
it's
though, without
depressing.
hurting your feelings? Or sometimes it's not even about hurting your feelings. It's like you don't know if it's just they're doing what they can. For money, from a money point of view, right?
Yeah, that's the biggest
So-
problem. We have no lie, right now, and this isn't a bragging or anything, but we probably about to have like 100K wrapped up in our studio right now, including guitars, software,
I
all
wouldn't
that
doubt
stuff.
that at all.
See, not everybody can do that. Not everybody's capable, or has that resource, right?
No, but I think it's good if if I make a suggestion to somebody, I will point out and say, hey, this, but I'll only do it if I know a solution. In other words, like, well, talk to so and so because this guy can get you up if you're on a budget or whatever. This guy's the guy to go to.
And I'm betting that's what it boils down to more is budget.
Yeah, but
99% of the time, right?
Yeah, I would record people at my house for free. I would, right? Just for the experience of getting better and better. And but I'm by no means some kind of fantastic audio engineer, producer, nothing. I just have found like a little niche.
Y'all heard that free recording it. Tristan Berkey's house.
That's what I heard.
555.
That's really going to be heard. Yeah.
Yeah, like the song that you
No,
played
that's
of ours,
very cool.
"Eye
Yeah.
for an Eye" at the front of the interview there.
Yeah.
I actually shared that one out a couple of my friends, and they were like, "This sounds almost mastered, and it's not even close to that." So
It doesn't. Like, we talked before about bands doing. There's different ways. Like I said, bands were doing it well before COVID, but when COVID came, a lot of bands started running studios out of their homes. They had time to write music like they never had before, and they they wanted to work on stuff, and that's how a lot.
And bands have always done that, though. You remember the 80s, 70s, 80s?
Yeah,
Everybody had the 4-tracks and stuff.
Oh, yeah, and then you
People
would just
put out some stuff with the 4-track, right?
Oh yeah, it's always
lay
been done.
4 more tracks over your last 4.
Exactly.
Start
But
fading away.
Yeah.
everybody, even the lowest end, musicians started doing it.
Yes.
that's right.
Setting up their own. And
You
like
go
I
to
said,
the pawn shop and you pick up a nice 4-track or a cheap 4-track and just get on with it.
The last time Dwayne and you had us on, Dwayne and I were telling y'all we used to write Missing Skin's first music on a 4-track.
That's right.
And we talked about my apartment being number 101, and this is episode 101.
Yes.
I think.
That's right.
And it's just funny, the irony.
That's
But
very cool.
We lived by that thing.
Yeah.
And Dwayne and I sat there countless nights, you know what I mean, just going over that.
I remember listening to so many of my
4-track
friends.
cassette tape.
Yeah, so many of my friends, we would listen to those tapes and what they would create on those, and it would just be incredible. You're like, they did this on a 4-track,
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
it's amazing what you. That's why I had to ask you before. I said, "Wait, did I get finished music from?" Because sometimes I forget whether I hear it on Spotify or did he send me a pre-release on this? Because I'll get a bunch of those and I'm like, I forgot which one it was. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I try to send it all the people that I'm close to in music, I'm like, I'm going to send it to them. They'll appreciate it, whatever.
Yeah.
And then after I send it, it's usually after a couple beers. Like I do all my mixing, everything, and don't drink any alcohol, none of that kind of stuff. We talked about that before. But I'll have a couple beers and then I get excited. I'm like, I want to share this with Doug. I'll share it with Rob and everybody else. And then before you know it, I'm like, oh hell, man, I'm annoying the shit out of these guys.
No,
No,
and
I
know
love
how
it.
I know
I
how
love it every
serious.
time.
Yeah, I know how serious you are about it. So I don't even listen into yours that you send me until I have time to actually sit and just listen to it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
I won't even listen to it.
That means the world to me.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
wait
statement right there.
till I
I think
know
I-
I'm going to put some attention on it.
I think I told you the same thing too. I mean, I think I was doing something at a time and said, I'm almost done with this. As soon as I do, I'm gonna listen to so I can actually pay attention
You
to
did.
it. Yeah.
Yep. You guys, we appreciate you so much, even letting us.
Yeah, well, I
get
appreciate you
this
sharing that,
exposure.
man. That's awesome.
I didn't want you to think I was just like, yeah, whatever.
I
Okay, dude.
feel special.
I didn't want
I
to
love you, Doug. I
Yeah.
mean, you're a stone's throw away from my driveway.
That's
so.
right, but
That's
I
crazy.
didn't want to.
Y'all live that close?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he lives just right around the corner from me.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to be like when I message him and I hear back from him like 4 days later. I didn't want to do like that on his music because I had more respect for him than that. Bam!
It's always every time Doug texts me, and I like I told you, I left my phone the other day in the pantry. I went in there for some reason. I was watching something on YouTube, put my phone down, and ate a bunch of cookies out of there. And then I walked out of the pantry. Holly's like, "Your phone's in the pantry."
Don't feel bad. Doug leaves his ringer off, so
I do all the time. The only time if there's some kind of crisis
I
going
tried to
on-
call him today. He didn't answer.
No, yeah. Well, there was a crisis
Yeah.
going on. As always, if the phone, the ringer's
That's not
usually
the first
off.
time, yeah.
No, but I usually I'll see it. Oh, an hour later, But no, usually I see my stuff right away because I have it. I don't have vibrate on, but I just see the light flash out of the corner of my eye. So
So Dwayne moved to Texas. When
He
did that happen?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
That was another big accomplishment. So when you guys razzed him about, so when are you moving to Texas, Dwayne?
Yeah, and he did.
Yeah, he sure did. So
The power of the nonsense.
right there it is, buddy.
There it is.
Because that's probably
It
what
happened.
did some of it. Yeah. So he came down with his wife Tracy and their daughter
Cool.
Gwen. He moved down. As a matter of fact, Dwayne's dad, who I used to do a lot of fishing with back home in Ohio, he was like, "What's the big idea of telling my son to come down there and move to
Oh,
Texas?"
my
And
God.
and I
Oh,
was
you're in
like,
trouble.
I said, George, listen, it was supposed to be Dwayne just coming here for to play some music, and then he ended up moving down here. But yes, he's here.
But he
and,
you got a good opportunity here for
he
work.
did. He got a great
So that's
opportunity here for work,
cool.
and his wife did too. They got settled in, and
I think that's why everybody moves to Texas, right?
yeah,
For work.
exactly. The opportunities here are just
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
nothing like back north. I could never go back there, right?
Yeah.
To live, anyways. A lot of family and friends still love Cleveland, Ohio. It's bred into me, right?
Yeah.
Born and
Hey,
raised.
Cleveland rocks, man.
Yeah.
Doug
Yes,
drives
sir.
up there every other month. It seems like.
No, not quite that around.
But
yeah.
at the time when we needed Dwayne here, right? Because
Yeah.
remember we were doing everything over,
Yeah.
like sharing files back.
Which
and forth. It
you
was a
can
mess.
do these days, but yeah, it does has its challenges, right?
Absolutely. And it can be done, but it's hard. It is.
Yeah.
It took its toll on us. But as soon as he got here, boom, we just started making leaps and bounds. And
That's cool.
Yeah, got us.
So he lives close now.
He lives about 2 miles away from me.
Oh dang!
Yeah.
So that's really good.
Yeah, we're in Montgomery.
Okay, cool.
I live at a secret location.
Oh, see, sorry.
You live by the
Edit that out.
you live by the sand pits.
My bad.
Not messing with you, man. No, that's good, man. We're anxious and eager for the new stuff to come out, and when it does, we'll pop y'all back on and allegedly have Dwayne on.
And Dwayne, I see you brought a lot of magazines that Dwayne's in. Do they have write-ups on him?
Yeah, yeah.
Some write-ups on him?
Yeah,
Damn.
I don't want to steal his thunder, but respect where respect is due. When Dwayne was in playing for Tim Ripper Owens and Beyond Fear, this is exactly why I brought these magazines, because he
That's
couldn't
very
come
cool.
last time, and then
Yeah.
Doug was like, "Dwayne's fake, he's not real." So
we got proof, published proof.
So I brought like 4 of your magazines here.
Dang.
Dwayne, the Metal Edge, Metal Hammer, all that.
that's
where he's
cool.
in there. Yeah,
That's
so
very
y'all
cool.
could check it out. I thought you might.
So that's a pretty
appreciate
good accomplishment on his level.
Oh yeah,
for him to make.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. When we were in Missing Skin together, Dwayne and I always gelled very closely and wrote a lot of the music.
So is he your age, or is he close to your age?
He's a little bit. Well, I'll be 49 in April, and Dwayne is 52 or
Okay.
53, I believe. But we were real close in
Okay.
age, and him and I just always gelled well. We talked about that on our first time we were on the
so
episode.
Titus is the baby.
Yeah.
Again, very unfamiliar territory for me.
Yeah.
Hey, I live in a cul-de-sac, and I remember when we all moved in, like everybody in the cul-de-sac basically moved in the 7 houses. We moved in within a week of each other in May of 21. And I was the oldest person in the goddamn cul. I was like, what
Dang
the
it.
hell is going on here, man?
Papa Doug.
Yeah, this is not right. Yeah, it catches up on you, man.
Yeah.
But, hey, you don't look your age. You putting out good music. That's all I
Yeah.
care about.
Yeah, that's the hardest part that I noticed.
You said you're 48.
48.
Yeah, I would have never guessed you're 48.
I know everybody says that all the time. They're like,
Yeah.
"You're aging well, I guess." It's
Yeah.
a blessing for sure, and I'll take it.
I thought you were just probably over 40, but seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's all those cold soaks in Lake Erie.
Is your wife younger than you? Because both of y'all look very young.
Yeah, Holly's 44.
Okay, so y'all look
Yeah.
So
we're-
y'all matched.
Yeah,
pretty
we're close. Yeah.
Well, you're a musician, dude. Your wife is supposed to be at least 10 to 12 years younger.
I got away with 5. That's about the best.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good.
Best I could do there.
I
buddy.
have no comment on that.
Boom. Yeah, that's lots of stories behind that comment. But
And Christian, you're playing guitar on this stuff now, right?
I
You're
am.
originally a bass player,
Yep.
but
Originally,
what made you go to guitar?
So I had done everything that I wanted to do personally on bass, right? I think we talked about some of that stuff on the first.
And you used to play
first
with
round.
what band? And
Well, I got my start with Missing Skin first, then moved to Texas, and then I think we talked a little bit about when I was at the front end of playing with Day of Reckoning. Rusty and I, he gave
Rusty
me a
Cooley?
chance. Yeah, gave me a chance on that, and then I kind of put the brakes on stuff, and then took that hiatus, and then I just got tired of playing bass, man. And I was like, I got to try something new.
The strings are so fat.
I know.
It's
They're
only
hard.
it's only 2 more strings. How hard can it be?
You know
They're
what's
so hard to push down.
You know what's crazy? Now when I go back, it's so hard for me to play bass now. After I'm like, oh my goodness,
The strings are heavy.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm playing the multi-scale fan fret ding
Oh,
wall,
wow.
ding wall,
Yeah.
right? Bass when it's so different.
So you went to guitar, but you didn't just go to a 6-string.
Right.
You went all out, and you just said, how many can you put on there?
Yeah, because it felt more normal to me, like the width of the neck.
Yeah. So
I
transition, you still felt that wide neck was comfortable for you.
Very. I just couldn't handle this, it was hard for me to get used to the string spacing on guitar, right? It was very foreign to me, but started with the custom Kiesel shop, Aries, 9-string. And then now we have the Legator 9 strings, the super shredders, and these are 8-string Legators. They're awesome. And I think I'm kind of liking that one better than the 9-string, right?
Yeah.
It's, and plus we can do everything with the 8 that we did with the 9 anyways,
Yeah.
with the tuning. And it's not really necessary, but we like it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And he donated a bass to when our buddy who owns BFE,
Frank
Rock
Aludo.
Club, he donated
That was a Warwick acoustic.
wasn't it a 6-string?
Yes, sir, it was. Yeah, that was a Warwick Alien acoustic that I had gotten, and it just sat there, right? So I was like, man, I gotta help.
Well, that was a
Frank,
sweet gift, and man,
And that auctioned off real well, too.
yeah, it did, and
I made a lot of money.
So no wonder you wanted more strings because you already had 6, so you let's bring it up.
He needed more. It sounds sick though on your recordings. It does sound sick. I won't.
Thank you.
It throws me because I know that's a guitar, and I'm like, how's he getting that sound? It's making me a little crazy.
Yeah,
But,
so Dwayne and I have spent a lot of time dialing in our tones.
Yeah.
But I can tell you right now, we're using the neural stuff. So the neural quad cortex
Yeah.
or the neural DSP plugins and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have very good, man, those
sounds
neural
so
does
good.
so good with the multi-scale metal guitar sounds.
So you're going direct into your interface, straight into and letting the plugins do all the work.
The plugins do the work.
Yeah.
Even
No amps, no heads,
No, not when we're
Nothing.
recording. Although we do have amps and heads and all that stuff. We use,
but not for recording.
not for. I don't use it for the recording. No,
It's quarter
But-
inch to straight to your DAW.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Yeah, but we do have the cream of the crop amps and stuff. Like
Yeah.
we have the dark glass,
Oh, yeah.
all the dark glass cabs and heads and all that stuff. All the dark glass pedals, yada yada.
Yeah, I love the way Dark Glass bass sounds.
It's amazing.
It's so
Yep.
cool. Yeah. I
Nothing
don't know
like
what they're
it.
doing, but yeah, they need to keep doing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you standing like me just doing what?
Yeah, talking gear is a whole nother different thing. But you,
I know
you
a little
have
bit
gear.
about it a little bit.
What
Right.
microphones do you like?
You know,
Do you have a favorite?
I've always sort of just I've been a Shure guy. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, they're just solid, good, basic, mic and
The SM58, it's
what can I
legendary,
say?
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I mean, you can beat on them and
Drop kick it and it still come back.
Now, what does
Right.
that look like? I'm trying to. Is that the old?
That's one of them.
Okay.
I think both of them are SM.
You don't like the? You don't
I'm not
like-
sure that's a 58.
You don't like the old crooner mic?
Is it 58?
Oh, the honeycomb style.
I love those, dude.
They
the
look
first
great.
time-
That
I'm
mic
using
is
the
awesome.
I'm using the Super 55 right now. But
The first time I ever tried, I grabbed it, and I love eating the mic. I do. And,
Yeah.
And so I get close to it, and I'm singing in mid song. My lips touch it, it grounds out through me.
oh yeah, yeah, all that metal.
Yeah, I didn't realize that some people have an issue
'Cause
with
it
that
goes all the
mic,
way
and
down.
I didn't
Yeah.
know why. I just like the way it looks. I always have.
Oh, it's great.
Because it reminds me of the time before us.
You talking about like this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It'd be great to sing with one hanging from the ceiling.
I have a cool black one too.
Oh,
The
really?
limited edition. Yeah, you can't
that's
find them
great.
anywhere.
Nice.
But it would
looks
it would
awesome.
have to follow you all over stage, So
Yeah, it would. Yeah. Now the old ones used to have a squelch right on the front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the really old classic ones, they had like their own squelch control right
Wow.
in the front. Yeah,
That's cool.
Really, really cool.
yeah. Well, that was my question. I don't know the name of the mic.
So SM58, do you run through any kind of effects when you're on stage, or
No.
you just let front of house do it?
Yep, just let the front of the house control it. Like I said, when I record, I like to try as close as humanly possible to put something down on the album that's going to be exactly
You
the
did
way
say that.
that people are going to hear it live.
Yeah.
I would hate to have an effect or a piece of music out there that very well could be someone's favorite. That then they go to the show and it's not there.
Can't
Yeah.
replicate it, or we don't even play the song.
Like,
yeah,
I want a refund.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
you'll see people do stuff that there's some songs that they won't even play live because
Right.
yeah,
Or they run the backtrack, on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I can forgive some people for some backtracks.
Yeah. I mean, it's huge nowadays. Everybody's in ears and backtrack. Yeah.
I mean,
So-
if you've got an orchestra piece and you can't hire a 100-piece
Right,
orchestra,
right.
I okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
there's a
Sure.
difference. I mean, we talked about Avenged before, and I really did appreciate they released an EP from Live at the Grammy, where they would just at the Grammy Hall beforehand at the museum, and they did a I think a 5-set thing, but they like Roman, what is it? Roman Sky, the song, it's with the violins and stuff in it. And I'm like, oh man, this is freaking awesome that they did. Because when I was a kid, had somebody added that into music, I would have, this is heresy, but things have changed, and I love the strings so damn much more now than.
Oh, for sure. There's a Dimmu Borgir song. They're Swedish metal, and they use a full orchestra and a full chorus.
Wow.
It's called Progenies of the Apocalypse, and it's amazing.
I bet it sounds
just
cool.
a different live.
Yeah.
Live. It's great if you can do it.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
like Jelly Roll when he hit it big at the CMAs. He did the Need a Favor. He brought in a choir. Man, it was like, man, that is freaking awesome.
I mean, you got to be
man.
able to pay these people something, right?
Yeah, that ain't
Right.
free. That kind
That's
of production ain't free. Yeah,
A lot of people want to do stuff for free, but you got to eat,
yeah.
So
That's why it's
Yep.
always good to go out and no matter what line of work you're in, collaborate, shake hands, because you never know
Yeah.
one day. Yeah,
This is true, sir.
yeah.
yeah.
So live. I know y'all are probably recording with clicks and all that, right?
Absolutely.
So live, are you going to be on a click, in ears, and all that?
So I used to like to play in ear click, and I only wanted drums in my left ear and then guitar in my right. I never even listened to what the singers were doing. None
wow.
of that stuff, and that's all I played
Interesting.
to was playing to
Could you hear? Did it bleed any?
a
these
little
vocals?
bit, yeah, a little bit
Yeah.
here and there, but
So you can still hear little vocals going on.
yeah, just a tad, yeah, depending on the part, yeah, that would happen, but yeah.
I've never personally used in
in-ears.
ears. I just use it as part of my stage show. If I'm like, okay, I need my guitar is my cue here. I'll go to that side of the stage.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah.
my cue.
So you don't really necessarily need a wedge right in front.
No. Just wandered.
I mean, you can hear the drums. You're going to hear the drums live,
wherever you're at,
no
right.
matter what. Yeah,
So I just back and forth where whoever I need to hear, I'll go and jump
Yeah.
up and down next to them for a while. And
yeah. Well, that's good if you don't need more. 'Cause that makes it easy, right?
yeah. And I mean, I scream loud enough. I mean, I know what my voice sounds like. So
Yeah.
as long as I can hear the other guys,
So your stage volume's already.
exactly. Yeah.
So if you're already going to use in-ears and stuff, you're not going to need to drag a bunch of stuff to stage, right?
Yeah, probably. We're so far out from that, right? Just try, but
Yeah.
yeah, I like the most easiest rig that you can possibly do. Yep, I just like
Direct in, yeah.
That's what's so good about the Quad Cortex Neural DSP
Mm-hmm.
Quad Cortex pedal. You get everything set up in there, right? You go wireless, and then that's it. Just give me
Yeah.
my guitar and let me do my thing.
Yep.
My thing.
I think that's pretty much everybody's gigging thing now. Is
Nowadays.
the less they can carry in.
Yeah, it's-
I mean, you look at Facebook like Marketplace, and everybody's selling their stacks, and
Yeah.
their heads and everything. It's all for sale.
That's right. Tech is changing
Yeah.
the game again. Yeah.
I mean, last time I saw, Fear Factory, Dino didn't even have gear. He just had a rack. And
Yeah.
He just plugged directly into the house system.
Essentially, it's like a floor modeler. You just going straight direct
They
in.
would- Right.
But speaking of him, we just bought his plug-in Dino from Fear Factory Tone
Oh, wow.
Forge, and the the sounds that he put together in that, and the amp modeling and the IR models and all that, it sounds amazing. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
we have some special surprises on some of the new tracks that we're going to use that on. And Dwayne and I mean, I love Dino anyways. Fear Factory was a staple for me growing up, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So are you going to do any like intros or anything in your music?
We have several intros right now that we work with, but because my writing style is,
Are you writing those on guitar and stuff, or?
Yeah, writing them on guitar, and then I like to have different type of piano sound effects. I had all this stuff in there, but it's a tug of war a little bit because there's things that I want to put in there that I think fit good, but other members are like, "Oh man, it sounds a little too soft. We need to stay super hard, right?" So,
but a lot of intros you can kind of ease into something, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But yes, we will have them on
something kind of airy and mysterious.
Totally love the mysterious, that's for sure.
And I have seen some of your videos where you're kind of playing with a little bit of sounds and doing that.
Yep, yeah. There's one at Blood and Ashes, I think, has it. One that we're working on has an intro like that. There's another one we're working on, a demo right now called Laceration that we have where it has a little bit of kind of that.
Yeah, I love intros. That used to be a big thing, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You don't hear a lot of them anymore, but I don't know if it's because, people are just trying to keep the time down, Because if you run an intro, then you run it into, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, easy.
Yeah, in my opinion, there is an interesting paradigm shift happening right now within music and all genres, but especially metal. It is like there's something churning that's coming that is going to change the game again, right? Like remember in the 90s, like once I heard Korn, I was like, "Whoa, bro, what is going on here? This is awesome, dude." And then I heard Slipknot, and you know what I mean? And it like had that feel. I feel like maybe that's coming back right now, and we're going to see some really good stuff.
Doug's out to a lot of places all the time. So you feel any kind of shift change coming in?
There was
and you listen to primarily metal, right, Doug?
Yeah, new metal got a good kick this past year, man. I saw a lot of acts that doing really well. It's kind of hard to tell. We talked about it before. There's so many. I just call it rock and roll. There's like too big in subgenres of each.
There is.
I call it music.
This is rock. This is country. This is the mix in between. Kind of like you get a lot of that now. But it's music. I love live music, man. Period.
Yes, me too. The one thing, my most favorite music is jazz.
Oh, wow.
And I like contemporary jazz, modern jazz, all that. To me, jazz music writes and thinks heavy metal riffs.
Yeah.
Because if I take those riffs and put them on our guitar, our H strings, right, and then add a distortion to it, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
And
one of my bands I listen to, it's called Intronaut. I think they're out of California, and the bass player does a lot of jazz runs, and it sounds so cool.
I love it.
I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
Intronaut, I'll add them.
Yeah,
and when we were talking earlier, Rivet Head, you said make sure I check out Rivet Head, right?
Yeah, Intronaut, the bass player is a left-hand bass player, fretless.
Oh, wow.
It just sounds so good, though.
That's awesome, yeah.
It sounds so good, yeah. Definitely check them out, yeah.
Yeah, I want to announce to the public that I got a plumber. So
all right.
Everybody clap. Yay!
Nice.
But we'll have y'all back on when y'all ready to release music.
Yeah.
And
it's coming, man. When did you say your goal is?
Yeah, so hopefully, the goal, like you said, sticking to would be June this year. It'll be like a 5-song EP.
We need it.
I know. That's why our Titus is here today and doing the recording of the vocals. So we're going to get that done, and we should be...
Is that going to be like a 4 or 5 track EP?
Yeah, 4 or 5 track EP. Well, you can find our music now on SoundCloud, and I know that's an older platform, but we were kind of like just putting it out there.
Can you put anything on Instagram? Can you do that on Instagram or TikTok?
Yeah. We can put it all up there. But I think our first push once it's done is going to be.
You're saying
straight to Spotify.
Dwayne's a little bit more reserved as far as like trying to get stuff out.
Yeah, he is.
He wants the real thing to come out.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't blame him, right? But we want to have the mix on there good and everything. But it's we're so close.
Yeah.
The last time you had us on the show. That helped us get a lot more exposure, right? And it kind of lit a fire deeper under our rear ends to get moving. So we appreciate that. But yeah, June this year, we will try to have it ready.
Be ready for a summer tour.
It's already coming out awesome, man. I can't wait to play some vocals for you before we leave here
Cool.
today.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear that.
Yeah.
It's coming along. But
I went and did I think I went and did a little background on you because I wanted to see.
On Titus?
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh,
I
I'm
think
stalking you, man.
I think I saw something
Lies.
somewhere. But yeah, I don't
They're
know
all
if it was
lies,
just
right?
I don't know if it was just a picture of the sound, but usually with a picture I can read what's coming out of a voice, so I kind of have it in my head. So yeah.
he has his stuff for Fear Grinder is on YouTube. You should.
I'm going to check it out.
It's
on most
something.
platforms.
Oh, I definitely will.
That whole thing there, because in Cleveland, Ohio, when we were growing up, it's a lot of folks that are close buddies interchanging bands all the time,
Yeah.
right? Within this tightly knit community. And I usually notice like it's pockets of whatever genre you're in, everybody kind of switches back. But anyways, the point is that work that he did with Fear Grinder is amazing. Plus Dwayne's brother, Brian, who is also in Missing Skin, who is our other guitar player. Brian played with Titus in
That's
Fear
so cool.
Grinder. And
Wow. Okay.
Roberto Diablo from Mushroom Head was our drummer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
So
Is Mushroom Head still around?
yes.
they are.
They are? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
I go see. They're Ohio boys.
Come on, Doug, get it.
God dang it! A Killer's Confession.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That's Waylon.
Yeah, Waylon and JP and all those.
Yeah.
The great guys, man. Because they were out with.
Did we have
Dryden-
them on?
Yeah, we did. We had
We
JP
did.
on.
Yeah.
And they were out with Dryden Pool. Got to know them.
Well, Waylon's originally from West Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a good old Southern boy.
Not too far.
That's my mom's family is actually from. They before her time they were in West Virginia, but I never liked to admit that. But they moved into Southeast Marietta and all that area, Barlow, Beverly, Southeast Ohio, and so I know the area. Been going there all my life, at least once a year now. A lot of times it's been 5, 6, 7 times a year. But
That's cool. Y'all have a lot in common.
You have to let us know next time you're headed that way. We'll go catch a show somewhere in the middle.
I'm
Yeah,
good.
no doubt.
I'm good with that. Like I said, I need to get up for Cleveland for a couple ideas too. I got a big grocery chain up there. I'm doing a lot of work with. So
Oh, good. Yeah, the music scene is in flux. A lot of the bigger clubs are expanding. A lot of the old owners that really ran the music scene to the ground are no longer there.
You think COVID had a big part of that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
We've probably had 7 of our biggest clubs closed down.
Yeah.
Boy, that
we
sucks.
saw
Yeah.
that here too.
yeah.
We had some clubs
And
closed.
the ones that didn't close during COVID, it took them a few years, but then that hit them so bad that it eventually happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the music scene changed too. You had
did.
new bands
It's a big
in and
time.
out.
Yep.
So
But it was a cleansing that needed to happen. Because it was
Yeah, sometimes it does help.
it was
Yeah.
a club owner's game up until that point.
yeah,
I got you. Yeah.
And it got to the point to where all the club owners are like, well, what can you do for us? And it was like, well, we're coming here doing you a favor. What can
Yeah.
what can you do for us?
Yeah.
And
It's basically
so
they wanted you to come in, play for nothing.
right.
Yeah.
And there's a big mentality. Like when
Yeah.
you play a show, the club owner shouldn't say how many people are you bringing. It should be how many people come to your club that I'm going
Yeah.
to entertain.
Yeah, that's always been a big fight amongst
that's always been a pull back and
venues
forth. Yeah.
and artists.
Tickets, and it changed. We joked about that before, from where bands would go out and paper every damn card. Now it's all on social media, so it's a different game.
But now it's like almost like they want the band to promote, but the club doesn't do any promoting.
Right,
Or the
exactly.
club won't even have it on their website or their calendars and stuff. And it's like,
I just want to show up and play music. I mean,
I'm the same way. Yeah.
I'm good for playing for 5 people or 500 or
Same here.
5,000.
yeah,
I
and most musicians I know are just like that. They're the same way.
I want to just crank it loud enough where I feel like hair standing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just feel it.
Okay, well, we will do this again, and we will next time. We'll try and have the missing skin of Dwayne on the podcast.
We're just gonna bring a mannequin dressed up with
This is
his
him.
clothes on it.
This is him.
Here he is.
we'll just write Dwayne across the forehead.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
AI
But you can
Dwayne.
change the name to MNKN for mannequin.
There we go.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Perfect. All right, and look, you can catch give us a little social media. Where can they find you? Blah blah blah.
Yeah, on Facebook, we're old. So my kids tell me all the time, "You have Facebook, you're old, Dad." But on Facebook, we have a Missing Skin page. It's MSKN. It's an acronym for Missing Skin. And then we have our stuff on SoundCloud now, but we're going to be pushing it over to Spotify here real soon. And then hopefully we'll have the album released on all major streaming platforms by June.
Cool. And you have to do a release party.
Yeah, I don't party like I used to anymore. The party will be, I guess, over in my living room.
That's cool.
Get
Yeah.
a couple beers and a pizza and fall
You
asleep.
can live stream it.
You saw him at the Crawfish Boil. He was just
Yeah, he sat next to me with the oxygen
Yeah.
guy.
I did. I actually, that was fun, man. There was
like,
a lot
this
of
guy
great
looks
talent
safe.
there.
Oh, yeah.
There was a ton of great talent.
Like I said, it was all kind of handpicked people, so everybody
Yeah.
was kind of the same cool.
Little
you know,
country, little rock.
Yeah.
I mean, so
it's a good crowd.
it is, and a beautiful piece of property too.
Yeah,
man.
they have a nice facility.
Jim and him had that wonderful setup.
They
It
put a lot of
was.
work in it.
The stage set up and all that. The sound was good.
Yeah,
right?
I think that
but
you said they converted that whole kind of shed barn thing.
Yeah, it used to be like just a barn with ground, and they put cement and soundproofed it, and they've done so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, full
they've done
PA.
more. They've done more since you've seen it. You know,
They
now-
built the outside stage, which you saw.
And the atmosphere there was so just like I felt
Yeah.
super relaxed, right?
Yeah.
You know, have one beer and just sit there and listen to some really good music.
Yeah.
And the way that stage is set up over there, I feel like it does very good justice for casting music
does,
out to
yeah.
the listener
But
out
it's
there.
funny. The
very good.
Wildcatter has a stage in the back. It looks
Yeah.
almost
Very
spot
close.
on like that. Yeah.
This is like the mini version of
Yeah.
it. But yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You inviting me there, Doug. That was fun.
Always
that was
do.
a lot of fun.
Always.
Was that the first annual or second annual?
That was the first there.
First
we
annual.
did like I think we did about 14 or 15 at my old place. You know, so
Oh, wow.
yeah, we'll get there. But
We'll have to do one here, Doug.
we have lots of space out here.
I got a lot of space.
I know. Anyhow.
Well, I did want to tell you all thank you so much for the exposure that you've helped us get, over the last, this show and this is the third show. Sorry, this is
Technically,
the third time.
yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
But we appreciate it big time because that helped us kind of get the word out, we're old guys at this, but
Yeah.
we're not.
I think that's always been the goal for Doug, right?
yeah.
To help
Yeah,
bands kinda
we
get
want to.
exposure.
Yeah, we want to help. Help people we meet, and it's all about
And this was all Doug's
positivity.
idea.
Yeah, I love it. It's like I said, I listened to it during my work day, and it's good. But we're not-
I still listen to him back too, and I love listening.
Yeah, and we needed this because we're not new, right?
Yeah.
Missing Skin's been around since 2001 or 1998. Sorry, I'm had
Oh,
a
wow,
brain
okay.
skip there. Yeah, and we started in 1998. The original
Yeah.
founders are me, Dwayne, and Brian, and then
Okay.
it kind of evolved from there.
Yeah.
But the point is, we needed that push because when we're rekindling old flames, right? Everybody is like, "Get out of here, bro. We
Yeah.
never even heard of you." You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So this kind of gives us that spark that
And
we
now
needed.
people everywhere can hear.
Yeah,
about
exactly.
Missing Skin.
That's right, and we'll have you back.
Thank you,
Yeah.
brother. Appreciate you, man.
Titus, thanks for coming today.
Absolutely.
It was
Thanks for
nice
having
to have
me.
a sit down with you and eat some good Texas barbecue,
Wonderful food.
And
From,
guys, yeah,
first class barbecue
Yeah,
out
y'all
in
did-
Hempstead.
Y'all did awesome. That was so good.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you.
it. Thank you.
and
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for sitting through on the rehearsal and also on the full version.
Yeah, man. That has never happened, but on that 101st episode, it did.
It
Dude,
was-
I was sitting
that
here
was
thinking,
so
I was
cool.
trying to remember what I even said. I was like, this is a good one. There's
It
this
was a good
great-
one, too, yeah.
great topic, conversation.
But we can do this all day.
it's a lost
Yeah.
episode.
But we're going to save it for the next one with Dwayne.
We'll have some. There are a lot of things like Titus mentioned. There's a lot of things going on that are right at the cusp that we can't talk about right
Yeah.
now. But we are about to. It'll be some very good news on a lot of fronts next time we're back.
Well, Doug, take us out, man, and we're going to stay and listen to some of their vocals they have.
Guys, I appreciate it, and this is the nonsense.
Take
This
two.
is the Nonsense Chronicles. Thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe.
Later.